Welcome back to part 2 of the making the DCRAW stitch. Link to part 1 is in the description box. So this is where we stopped in episode 1. So where we are going to make the cross stitch now, the cubic right angle weave stitch. So we are going to make units of right angle weave on this 4 beads. See, you see here. So this is the first bead, and I am going to make a right angle weave stitch on this. So to make a right angle weave, we need 4 beads. One is already there. So pick up 3 more beads and pass your needle back into the same bead. So that is how we make the right angle weave. And so you see, you got a right angle weave unit there. Now to move to make the next unit, we will have to pass your needle through the next bead in that right angle weave base, and you brought your needle out there, and we have to make another right angle weave unit like this. So to make this unit you need 4 beads, but here you see already there's 1 bead here which we should share from the previous unit, and there is 1 bead through which we have put our needle. Okay, so there are 2 beads already there. So that means we are going to pick up only 2 more beads now. There's only 2 more beads. Excuse me. And your thread is coming out of the base bead. Now pass your needle through the bead that we are going to share from the previous unit, and also into the bead from where we started. So when you do this, you will get your next right angle weave. To begin the next unit, you will have to take your needle to the next bead, the next bead in the base, So again there you see, we are starting with 1 bead, and there is 1 bead that we have to share from the previous unit. See, when you keep it like this, see, this is the way the unit will come. But you see, there is 1 bead already in the base, and there's 1 bead that we are going to share from the previous unit. So that means 2 beads are already there. We are going to need just 2 more beads. See, the one I'm tapping on is the bead that we are starting with, and there's one in the previous unit which we are going to use or share. So pick up 2 and pass your needle through the shared bead from the top to the bottom, and again bring it back from where you started. So right angle weave means always you will be passing through the bead from where you started again to make it into a unit. So we are done with this now. To move ahead to make the next unit, see, now we have made 3 units, 1, 2 and 3. So for a cubic right angle weave, there will be 4 units like this. So to make the 4th unit, as always, pass your needle to begin the next unit. Pass your needle to the next bead in those 4. And if you look closely here, you can easily see that there are 3 beads already there which make up the unit. See, one on the left, one in the bottom, and one on the right. So and your thread is coming out of the beads in the bottom. Now to add the next bead, what we will do is, you'll take your needle up through the shared bead. See, because we are sharing it, so that means you have to pass your thread there also. Pick up just 1 bead and pass it from the top to the bottom of the shared bead in the left side. See, and when you do this, you can see we have a unit there. As again, see, this unit is formed with 4 beads. And don't worry what is on the bottom, you just focus on the right angle weaves there, so that will help you to understand it clearly. And again you pass your bead through from where you started to complete this stitch. And we have completed, you have made a cubic right angle weave. So cubic right angle weave, 4 sides having right angles. So that's the meaning of cubic right angle weave. Now your thread is still at the bottom. So preferably we want the thread to come up again to do the next part of the stitches. So take your bead up in the same direction as your beadwork and also on the top. See, at the top you can see there are 4 beads, which is a right angle weave, but they are all not joined together. So just pass your needle through all 4 of them to join it. So no picking up any beads, just passing it through all the 4 beads. Sorry about that, I have not focused there properly. But what I am doing is I am just passing through all the 4 beads to join them together. That's all. See, when you join them together, you have completed a cubic right angle weave unit. See, and what you see there is actually the 4 beads or the right angle weave that we started in the beginning. So this is again the beginning. So from here, see, we started with the right angle weave with 4 units like this. This is what you see here at the top of your beadwork. So from now on, it is a repetition of what we did in the first unit. And from that right angle weave, we made it into a double right angle weave. So the step again begins from where we did in what we did in the first episode. See, now here in this you can see we did the double craw, then we did the cubic right angle weave. You can see this indentations or the valleys. So that's what we have achieved here now. So after making 1 unit of cubic right angle weave, we will move ahead and make the next double cubic right angle weave. So started with 4 and now we have to make the double right angle weave. So that means adding 1 bead between each of them. So when you add 1 bead between each of the 4 beads, you will get a double right angle weave unit. And from here again we'll start making the DCRAW unit, double cubic right angle weave. See, like how we did here, we are going to add the next unit now. To add the next unit, like how we did in the first episode, first we will make a right angle weave by adding 4 beads. So pick up 4 beads for the inner square, which will be the orange color beads in my case. So again, if you want, for your reference, you can please mark slightly with a marker. You can put small dots on all the 4 corners, so you know that that is where your units will be made. I've picked up 4 of the beads for the inner square, and then I will move my needle to add see, that was such a wrong move that I made, so I have to pass my needle back again to get it straight. See, because I'm making and doing it under camera and in a different angle, you know, sometimes it happens. One bead for the outer square, the second bead, and the third bead. The fourth, of course, is already there on the base. And complete this unit by passing through the bead from where you started again. So one double right angle weave completed. To begin the next right angle weave, we have to go to that place where you have marked. So that means we'll have to be passing through 2 beads on the base. And when you pass through 2 beads on the base, you will reach the corner where the next unit has to be added. The first unit will be right angle weave, then we'll proceed to add the outer square. Pick up 4, make a right angle weave, then get ready to make the outer square. So there's 1 bead that you have to add there now. So 2 beads for the outer square are already there. I am adding the third one. And the fourth one, if you remember, has to be shared. So this is the bead that will be shared. Pass your needle from the top to the bottom and also into the orange bead there. In one move you can do both the passes, and you have completed the second unit. And to finish this stitch, pass it back into the bead where you started. So 2 units done. Now you know what to do for the third unit. Move your needle to the place where the third unit has to be placed, which means you will have to pass your needle through both the beads on the base. And you're ready for the third unit now. Third unit begins by adding 4 beads for the right angle weave. And one important thing is, you should remember, when you after you put the right angle weave beads, pass your needle up through one of the beads of the new set of 4 that you added. So if you don't do that, you could go wrong. Not you could go wrong, it is a wrong move. So we are adding 1 between each of them. And now is the time to share the bead with the previous unit. Pass your needle from the top to the bottom, and again at the same time pick up the bead of the new unit and complete the stitch by passing your needle again from where you started. We are done now. Now you have to see, we have added 3 units. Now we have to move to the 4th unit, which means you will be passing your bead through 2 beads on the base, and you are in the position to add the 4th unit now. To add the 4th unit, again we will start by adding 4 beads first. So add the 4 beads and pass it through the bead again and make one more pass into the first of those 4. So you are in preparation for joining now. So to join now, see, like I told you, now we have to share the beads with the units on the right and the left. So one bead on the right is here, so I am going to share that bead, not adding beads but sharing it. So this is the second bead of the outer square. So there is no bead for the third one. So for that, one bead has to be added here. So pick up one bead and pass it through the next orange bead. Now is the time to share with the previous unit. So pass your needle from the top to the bottom. So that is the bead that you are sharing, and now back into the orange bead of the inner square and complete your stitch by passing through the bead where we started, and we are done. We have added 4 units and made it into a cubic double right angle weave. So you are in this position now where your thread is at the bottom. So bring your thread up to where we need it. So to bring it up, you will follow the same thread path. Instead of just moving it in any other way, you will move it in the same thread path, and now you are ready here. So this is the place where the 4 outer beads, square beads are there. Now we have to add the 4 inner square beads. So like this, we have to add 4 of them to close it up. So when you add 4, it becomes a double right angle weave, and also that is the method to close up this top. So pick up 4 of the orange beads, or 4 for the inner square, and after you pick up, we are not adding any more beads, we are just joining them together. See, this is like a lid and it will close like this. Okay, so we just have to close them appropriately, no adding any more beads. Now from where your thread is, pass it through the orange bead now. Okay, and then into the yellow bead, then pass it through the orange bead and next yellow bead, pass it through the orange bead and the next yellow, and finally pass it through the orange and the yellow. So with that, see, you have attached the top. So without adding any beads, after adding the 4 beads, without adding anything, we just weave it in to make it the perfect top for this. So with that, we have completed the second unit of DCRAW. I am going to move into position to add the next craw unit. So that will be one of the beads in the inner square. So I'm going to start from here, that is the orange bead. Pick up 3 of the orange and pass it through the bead from where we started to make a right angle unit. The first right angle unit for the craw has been made. Now move your bead to the next one in the base And when you move it, actually you see I'm doing in the opposite direction than what I showed you earlier, but both are okay. It only depends on your hand movement. So after adding one unit, you know the stitch now. There are already 2 beads for the right angle weave, so I'm adding 2 more. And to add 2 more, now how do you decide like where to insert your needle and how to make it into a right angle weave? So just bring those 2 beads that you took up and position your work like this and check. See, now when you do this, can you see? You can see the 4 beads sitting in place like this. So that means that is where your needle will go next. See the thread and the needle. If you do this, you will get a clear picture. So then your needle has to move down like this. And again from the bead we started. So that will complete your second unit of right angle weave. Now move to the third bead in the base. See, when I mean base, I mean the 4 beads making up the right angle weave there. So in this position again, you see there are 2 beads already there for the right angle weave unit. One is the shared bead and one is the bead at the base. So pick up 2 more. Again, like I told you, bring your beads down and position your thread like this and check where you have to now make your next move. So this is the bead that you will be moving into, and then again back to where we started. Yeah, that will complete the third unit of right angle weave. Now the fourth unit, that's what makes up the cubic right angle weave, right? There will be 4 sides. So for the fourth side, in preparation, you will take your needle into the 4th bead on the base. And now you know when you hold your beadwork up like this, 3 beads are already there for the unit. You need 1 more bead only. So before adding 1 more bead, you will have to move your thread up the shared bead. Pick up 1 bead and pass it down through the next shared bead of the previous unit. Thus completes the last one, and also it is the joining also. Needle back into where you started. So 1 unit of craw is completed now. Now it is time to move the needle back up again. And when you move it up, you can see the 4 beads making up the right angle weave are all separated and they are not joined together. See, you can see them all stranded apart like that. They are not joined. So just make one round of, just move your needle around it to join them all together. You are not adding any beads, but you are just joining all the 4 beads together. So by joining all of them, you have made a tight stitch. And now see, next unit comes up like this. So you will be making the next unit of double right angle weave. So we started, see, this is the 4 beads that you can see here on the top. So now the next step is to make it into a double right angle weave. So for that, you know what to do now. So you will pick up 1 bead and place them in between the 4 beads. So this is the beginning of the third unit of DCRAW. I hope I was able to communicate to you properly the stitch and the placement of the beads. I have tried my best to explain to you and the method that I follow. So it is exciting as well as a little bit difficult in the beginning, but then you will get there. See, the next unit has to come up like this, and that's how you will keep continuing. So to see how to join the bangle, let's catch up in the third episode.